So you can listen to this practice wherever you are today. You can be sitting down or laying down, or even stretching and doing things if that's what you have to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. And so if you would like to listen in a still position, allow yourself to take all the time that you need to fidget, to adjust, to stretch, or move in whatever ways your body wants to. Just checking in with your body and how it is right now, and trusting any instincts of movement that you feel. And doing your best to trust how your body wants to move, rather than thinking about what the movements look like or thinking about how it feels, but coming fully into that sense of feeling and following the yummy sensations that you might feel when you do some torso twists or side body bends, maybe reaching the arms up overhead for a big morning stretch, neck rolls or shoulder rolls, just anything at all that your body wants right now. And if what your body wants at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. And there is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice anytime you feel the need to. But at any point, if you haven't already and would like to, you can make your way to a still position. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you now take a moment to mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full and intentional cleansing breath, calling in this fresh new air into the body as you fill up to every corner and edge of you, getting as full as you possibly can get. And staying in that fullness for an extra moment to experience this sense of being full of air. And then as you need to, rolling over to your exhale, as you slowly let go and gently pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here to now really experience this sense of emptiness in the body, as you allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And you can continue to breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. Not worrying about the actual length of your inhales, exhales, and then pauses on either side, but just letting each of these 4 parts of your breath be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. Intentionally, consciously slowing down the 4 parts of the breath. And therefore communicating to our body and to our nervous system that right now is the time to slow down. And at any point, if you haven't already, you can release this guidance over your breath altogether. As you now step into the role of the observer or the witness. And reminding yourself how our breath is the one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. And so letting go of this voluntary guidance we just had over the breath, as you now simply observe the automatic process that is your body breathing you. And watching your body breathe you with the same energy that you may feel when you lay on the beach and just watch the waves as they roll up along the shoreline. Not trying to change anything about the size or speed of the waves, but simply watching as each one comes and goes, all on its own. And as you let some awareness come now to your face, you can just make note for yourself of any resting expression that is on the face right now. Even with the eyes closed, if you were to catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, what expression would be resting there? And making note of any emotions that could be communicated by this resting expression. Maybe the brow is tense or the jaw. The nostrils could be flared, or the chin or even ears could be holding some extra unnecessary tension. And you can just allow your awareness of these areas of tension in the face be all that you need to instead allow these areas to soften. As you maybe open and close the mouth a few times before finding that center place where the jaw is just hanging into place and the tongue releases from the roof of the mouth. As the lips rest softly on one another. And feeling how this release in the mouth naturally allows the chin to soften a bit deeper, the nostrils, the cheeks, the upper jaw and the ears, even the eyelids and the eyebrows. Feeling your entire forehead soften a bit further. As you feel this general sense that all of the tiny muscles in the face are just ungripping from the bones and releasing back into the support of your skin. As you remember that you can trust your own anatomy. And that when you let go, when you release this extra tension in the face, your skin holds everything intact. Your body holds you exactly as you need to be, without any of your doing or direction. But it is safe for you to soften right now. As you allow that sense of letting go in the body to naturally trickle down the scalp as you even feel your brain resting in the skull. Feeling the back and sides of the neck soften a bit deeper, as the shoulders and arms and hands become a little heavier. Feeling this sense that the muscles all the way down the arms are rolling off of the bones. And again, releasing into the support of your skin. Just like when your body fully softens when you're in a deep state of sleep, everything is held right where it needs to be, without any of your extra doing or helping. As you now allow all the muscles across your abdomen to soften and rest and almost hug your organs. Letting your whole belly be big and soft. As you feel your pelvic floor lengthen and widen. As your glutes release even deeper into whatever surface is beneath you. Melting a little bit closer to that surface. Letting yourself be a little bit heavier and held. As all the muscles down the legs now also roll off of the bones. Letting your legs be heavy as your feet and toes soften even more. As you just allow this general wave of release spread across the entire body. From the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers to the tip of your head and every inch in between. Allowing yourself to be exactly as you already are. Reminding yourself that there is absolutely nothing that you should be or need to be doing right now, as this is not a doing or a thinking process, but rather one of listening and feeling. And so if at any point you catch your mind trying to feel something specific or trying to not feel something specific, you can use that as an opportunity to remind yourself that you are allowed to feel exactly what you are already feeling. Whether that be something you label as good or something you label as bad and painful. This practice is not about ignoring the bad feelings that we face, but it is about feeling exactly what you are feeling. Becoming curious about how you already are feeling. Remembering that the only thing we all know for sure in this life is that everything changes. Especially how we feel. Even when the nature of feelings tries to convince us that what we are feeling is how we've always felt and how we always will feel. we know that that will never be true, since the only truth is that everything changes. And the way that we move on from feelings is by allowing them, when they bubble up from within us, allowing them to arise and release in whatever way they need to be released. Whether that be through an artistic creation or through tears and screaming. Maybe through jumping around or punching a pillow or through something else entirely different. But when we allow them to arise from within us and release outside of us, it will lighten our load. And then we can move on to that next set of feelings as they come up from within us. Instead of when we try to ignore our feelings or push them down or look away or distract or numb. It's like the feeling is trying to come up from within us and we just keep shoving it down deeper, where it doesn't go away, it only gets embedded deeper within us, where it will control our actions more insidiously, since it's not in our awareness. So just know that it is safe for you to feel whatever it is that is here for you to feel. You will not drown, you will not be crushed, but you will be stronger. You will be an even fuller picture of who you are. Remembering all of the difficult feelings and experiences you've already lived through. How much you've already accomplished. How many scary things you've faced that did not crush you, but you have survived through so much just to be here right now. And not just your life, but all the lives of the people who have come before you. The generations of love from your family, from your ancestors, that has occurred in order for you to exist right now. The fact of your existence is the proof of all of this love. And all of us will wax and wane in our feeling of this love, in our feelings of motivation and connection and creativity and love. We will move through phases where we feel very connected, very loved, very inspired. And then phases where we will feel disconnected from love and life, maybe. And then there are all the phases that come in between those two extremes. And just like the moon, we are not meant to be full all of the time. Just like everything else in nature, we are simply meant to live, to experience life. And everything in life will move through seasons of growth and expansion, as well as seasons of death and decay. And we can make the changing seasons of our own lives so much easier on ourselves just by knowing that the seasons will change. And when we are in a darker phase of life, just allowing ourselves to be there rather than blaming ourselves or assuming that we did something wrong and we're being punished. But just understanding that even the trees will shed their leaves, even the moon will be in the shadows, and so will we. We will have our own phases of darkness. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or that you've done anything wrong. It simply means that you are human and you are living this human experience, which will always contain the full range of the human experience, of human emotions. And remembering that we would not know what joy and happiness and connection even feels like if we felt that way all of the time. Because if we felt joyful and loved and happy all of the time, it would just be normal. It would be how we felt, how life is. So what we are actually feeling when we feel things like happiness, joy, and connection is the contrast between the opposite emotion. And so we can learn to appreciate those phases where we feel disconnected, unloved, maybe, and in the dark, because they allow us to feel the full extent of the joys. Since the heights of our highs are directly related to and affected by the depths of our lows. Just like light would not exist without darkness. And so you can take that extra layer of pressure off of yourself that all of us will tend to put on ourselves. That extra layer of resistance and expectations. You do not need to resist what is happening in your life or ignore it or pretend it's not happening. You can accept your life and who you are for exactly who you are and how it is. Remembering that accepting and acceptance doesn't mean that you like it or agree with it or even want it to be this way. But acceptance simply means that you acknowledge what is, which is the first and necessary step in any and all real change. And so it is possible for you to accept yourself for exactly who you are and how you are right now, while at the same time having goals and aspirations to be someone different or to grow in a different direction. But we cannot change what we don't first accept. And so just re-scanning your body right now as you remind your muscles that it is, again, safe for you to be soft. the earth is holding you and gravity is hugging you close to the earth. It is safe for you to soften right now. And so you can continue to soften and feel whatever is here for you to feel. As you listen to the following words written by young Pueblo in his book called The Way Forward, as you allow anything at all that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. Being willing to face your inner storms sometimes gets you so focused on your emotions and your past that you forget to look up and notice that you have taken many steps forward, that life is not the same anymore, and that your behaviors are more supportive of your happiness. There is a moment of victory that eventually happens when you take your growth and healing seriously. You start to notice that you are no longer the same person who started the journey. Every day is not a great day. There are still plenty of challenges, but there is a new freshness to life, and the low points are not as low as they once were. Tough emotions don't control your actions the way they used to. When you do react, it is no longer as intense or overwhelming. You are not perfectly happy all the time, but that was never the goal. Instead, you feel a new sense of calm because you've more deeply embraced the inevitability of change. You don't fear the ups and downs, but have learned to glide with them. Joy is more available to you because you spend time cultivating your patience and your ability to appreciate the present moment. You know that there is still much to heal and more ways to grow, but you are familiar with the rhythm of observing, accepting, letting go, and allowing transformation to occur organically. Embracing change is one of the most understated ways to improve your life. A lot of the mental tension we experience comes from rejecting change. The common pattern is to lament that something pleasurable has ended, or to roll in the mental tension when something you dislike is occurring. Teaching your mind to ponder more about the reality of change will release some of the shock that comes when things actually do change in your life. Understanding that change is inevitable will help you recognize that everything has a time limit, which ultimately encourages you to be more present when you are doing things that bring you joy or when you are around the ones you love. Too often we get caught up in our imagination, creating heavy narratives about the past or craving something in the future, altogether missing the beautiful moment that is right in front of us. Every moment has potential, and that potential is defined by how we arrive into it. Our minds have the power to turn a moment that might easily have been forgotten into something awe-inspiring and positively life-changing. Embracing change not only brings more joy into your life and enhances your resilience during tough moments, but also is the key to happiness and wisdom. While being attached to sameness dulls the vibrancy of life. And everyone who is healing their old trauma and learning to live beyond the past is part of the solution. So we can take some time now to just allow each and every word that you've heard today and each and every feeling that you felt today to settle within you. The same way a fresh snowfall settles down across a ski slope. And there is an analogy in meditation where our mind can be seen as a ski slope, and the thoughts that we travel down more often will have deeper grooves, and it will be easier to travel down them in the future. And meditation is like making it snow over these trails. The grooves of our old actions and thoughts are still there, but there's a layer of snow on top, a layer of awareness on top, where we can see more options, where we can take a moment before traveling down that same old path and maybe see a brand new way. And we can create new paths with a little bit more ease. And so just allowing this new snowfall across your mind so that you may see all of your options with a bit more ease. And just trusting that anything at all that you heard today that really resonated with you or struck a chord with you in some way, just trusting that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing these truths to be enhanced within you, so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. Trusting that you already know all it is that you need to know, and exactly what it is that you need to do, if that is anything at all. And so if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms and fingers to one another, as you let your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. And you feel all of this power generated through you, tuning in to your own heartbeat. This steady background beat to every moment of your experience. As you now call in fresh new air into the body and fill up the most you have today to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything at all that you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. as you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.